Hey there, it's Cami from the blog TIDBITS. So after considering all my options for buying or DIYing my dream frame for our Samsung Frame TV, I want to share with you all about the option I went with and how I picked out the perfect frame for our TV. So the final step to completing our living room was framing our TV. So we had finished up building an incredible faux stone fireplace surround, and I had just wrapped up all the furnishings and decor for this space, and I really wanted to finish off our Samsung Frame TV with something that fit the European farmhouse design of our home. Now, while the Frame TV sits very nice and flush against the wall and displays art beautifully, I still felt like the black slim frame that comes with it still very much looks like a TV, and that's not the most ideal thing to have as your living room focal point from a decorative perspective, even if it is very functional. So I do have another video all about what I think of the Samsung Frame TV and how I find affordable art for it, if that is something you would also enjoy. But today is all about the frame for this TV. So I will be sure to link all my sources, share any relevant coupon codes for our frame, and link to any previous videos or blog posts about the TV and this area, all in the description for you. Now, I looked at all the options I could find for framing the TV. We even bought some wood, thinking we could DIY the look I was after, but it just wouldn't come together. That's when I decided Deco TV frames was the best source I could find and had the most options to choose from. So I contacted them and asked if they would like to help me create this content for you, and I was very pleased that they said yes. So as a disclaimer, this content is sponsored by Deco TV frames, and I love that they have sent me so many samples to show you so that I can walk you through what they have, show you my final selection, and offer you some tips and insight into choosing the right frame for your TV. So let's take a look at all these samples to give you an idea of what a variety of styles they have to choose from, and I'll categorize them into the design styles that I personally think that they work best for. So for the modern or minimalist home, they have a ton of options. That is, if your home is kind of leaning towards more contemporary, maybe more mid-century modern, or especially if you like a simple, clean look. Their alloy line is fairly new, and you can get a variety of metallic sheens, colors, and beveled designs. I was curious if I would like these pale gold alloy frames, as I felt it could possibly lean into the European style I was after. I actually love them, but in the end I fell in love with another option even more. All right, so for the traditional home, if you're after something just more timeless and versatile, I think you would love the antique gold or the warm silver. I love the antique white or the antique gold and black. I think these are really classic frame designs. There's also like a distressed barnwood frame if you have a more traditional farmhouse style of home, or I like the burl wood or the simple black frame for that traditional look as well. Now for the European or vintage inspired home, let's look at some of the more ornate frame options. I was quite smitten by all of them and was glad I tried all of them in samples to pick a favorite. So this ornate gold is a showstopper, and especially great if you love like a French inspired home or after something really glamorous. It's so chunky and beautiful and has so much patina. My good friend Deb from Seeking Lavender Lane has this above her stone fireplace for her TV, and it is stunning. So then they have the Tuscan gold and the Tuscan silver, which are very similar. The Tuscan gold brings out more of the subtle gold detail than the more bold ornate gold frame, which works if you just want a speck of gold. To me, these two options look more old world or old fashioned, perhaps something similar to what you might land upon digging through frames in an antique store. So do you want to know what I ended up picking out? It was a tough deciding between so many lovely options, but in the end, my heart just kind of knew. So I selected the Tuscan silver. I really like the old world vibe, and I like how the color seems to coordinate with my space the best. I feel like even if my style shifts a little, it will still work in here for a long time. The texture and patina of the frame just fits the surroundings of my collected pottery, my textured lime wash walls, and it just feels right to me. So I would love to hear in the comments if you're surprised by my selection, if you like it, or if you see something that I tried out that you think would have worked better for my home. I would love to kind of hear your thoughts in that regard. But I want to give you some insight on why I chose it. So I was torn between the Tuscan Gold and the Tuscan Silver, but after staring at both samples throughout the day, my eyes were just constantly drawn more to the silver. Also, I took the time to try out several pieces of art on my TV to make sure that the art styles that I seem to like the most would work with the frame of my choice. I love vintage art, so I played around with some of the darker, moodier vintage pieces that I had versus like the light and bright vintage art, and that's when I knew that the Tuscan Silver would go with more of a variety of the art that I liked, though it was a pretty close match. I also considered various art and frames around the home that I already have and found the Tuscan Silver to kind of coordinate best with what I was already putting in my home or maybe plan to add to my home. So the assembly and the installation of the frame went smoothly and was very customer friendly. I am blown away by the quality of the Deco TV frames and how real they make the TV look like framed art. It's an amazing experience watching TV and displaying art now with this frame. So I hope that was helpful to see, but I'll leave you with some really quick tips for picking out your own frame for your frame TV. So tip 1, don't skip the samples. Try out as many samples as you think you will like. I was surprised that the one I thought I absolutely wanted when looking at the website was like clearly not my choice when I saw it in person. I would have picked the antique gold and black frame, which is lovely, but the Tuscan Silver ended up giving me more of the ornate old world feel I was after. They just look different in person and when you hold it up to your TV. So don't skip the step of getting some samples to try out before you invest in your final frame. You can definitely narrow it down to only sampling a few of your favorites, but go ahead and get those in your hands first. It's kind of like sampling paint. It's a little more effort and money before, but is well worth it in the end to just get it right. Okay, tip 2, leave the samples up on the TV for a day or two. Just kind of see what draws your eye the most and like get input from your family. Tip 3, try out several pieces of art on display. That will help you narrow it down to the frame that will work best for your art preferences. Tip number 4, account for the frame when hanging your TV. So hopefully this tip isn't coming too late for you, but before you hang your TV, account for that added bulk the frame might add to the TV and make sure the placement is right for you. And tip number 5, check out other homes with frames on their TV. So a great place to narrow that down is on the Deco TV Frames Instagram account, or you can search some relevant hashtags to see images of people online sharing how their TV frame looks in their home. I will also link to a gallery on the Deco TV Frame website where they have many of these images to inspire you. If you do this, you can get a really good feel for what style goes best with your home, and that can be helpful if you need to narrow down your sample selections. There you have it. I hope my experience helps you find the perfect frame for your frame TV. I am 100% happy with my results and thrilled to finally say our living room is now complete. So check out the reveal and be sure to subscribe and come on back for more inspiration for do-it-yourself living. Thanks for watching.